My name is Patrick Wright, and I live at 11 Elm Avenue, Newport News, Virginia. Mayor Price and members of the City Council, I'd like to begin by wishing you and all of the City of Newport News a happy and prosperous new year. Since I last had the opportunity to speak to you, I've researched how plans for the city farm property have evolved over the years, from the late 1960s to 2009. Much of this was dated by the excellent archives of the Daily Press. We are indeed fortunate in this city that we have a newspaper that keeps us so well informed of local news, bringing to light situations that some would rather keep hidden from the public. In May 1968, then City Manager W.E. Lawson submitted to the City Council a proposal for a 70-acre park, including a 2,000-foot beachfront with other amenities. In a 1971 editorial, the Daily Press opined sooner or later that Wright juicy piece of James River real estate would become more valuable for other uses than for its present utilization as a city jail farm. The editorial pushed for public access to the waterfront, calling it ridiculous that a city with 20 miles of shoreline has less than a half dozen sites where a man can put a boat in that water. In 1980, the City Council adopted plans for a James River Park at the site to include tennis courts, jogging and bike trails, a skateboard area, an amphitheater, and a boat ramp, but the idea soon languished. In 1987, Peter Eckert with the real estate firm Drucker & Hawk spoke of turning the area into a first-class residential development. Mentionable residents came out in force, strongly opposing turning the area over to private developers. Former Mayor Harry Atkinson, remember him? Backed those residents, saying that the council's 1980 action for James River Park was a moral commitment to keep the land public. They swore a mighty oath, he said of the council. In December 1991, more than 100 community leaders gathered at the groundbreaking ceremony for the new city-owned park, Riverview Farm Park. And since then, the park has been enjoyed by thousands of citizens and visitors every year. Later, between about 2000 and 2009, then City Manager Randy Hildebrand made relocating the city farm and redeveloping the waterfront land one of his 24 strategic priorities, but though lots of paperwork and ideas were generated, the plan was never presented to City Council. This brief accounting makes clear to me that for almost 50 years, despite the desires of some developers out for a fast buck, the overwhelming sentiment of the citizens of Newport News has been to turn the city property into a public park. Please heed their wishes. Thank you for your time and consideration.